What's going on, guys? Today we're going to get some work done on this 2000 Civic. I recently picked this up. I'm going to use it as a second daily driver alongside my CRV. That way I'm not driving my truck so much. My CRV AC broke a few months ago and I've been using the truck on a daily basis, but the gas mileage is just terrible comparatively. So pick this up for now. We're going to use it for the foreseeable future. And we're going to get some parts thrown on it today. I reached out to Maxpeedingrods. You know, I've always been using their coilovers on some of the track builds. We're going to throw these on a car that's a daily so I can actually put miles on it and see how they feel. I'm imagining we're going to probably run them on a pretty soft setting because they are decently stiff on the EG. We're going to get those installed. We are also going to install, they make a camber kit front and rear for the 96 to 2000 Civic and some lower control arms as a little package. Of course, I received all these as promotional items just for me to record them, but I want to put some use on them. These urethane bushings on the EG, I have the same arms on there. They've held up pretty well over the course of about 6 track events this year. But I'm curious how these rubber ones will last. They may not last long at all. Thankfully, it is easy swapping out camber kits, at least in my eyes, to myself. You can always change those out, upgrade those in the future, but we'll see if we can get any longevity out of them. This camber kit looks decent. The welds look all right there. It's pretty sturdy overall. I have no idea on how well the ball joint will last. It looks similar to a lot of other ball joints, how you can adjust it from the bottom, which is nice. All rear camber kits essentially the same. I've seen a ton that are exactly like this, different brands. I think it would be nice if they started using just urethane here to begin with. Urethane seems to last longer, especially when you lower the car and you're putting a little bit more stress on these when tightening them up. And it's similar to how they do on the lower control arms. Just something that maybe they consider in the future, probably get a little more longevity. I feel like the urethane on camber kits doesn't really affect the way the car rides at all. It just helps this rotate better. For me, I like the way it feels personally. But we'll see. I'll give an update on this video maybe like a year from now also. But I do plan on driving this car for at least the next 5 to 6 months on a daily basis. But let's get started and get all these parts thrown on. I'm not going to show the install of all those. I think most of you guys know how to install pretty much all these parts from some of my older videos. But I'll get it put on the car, show you how it looks, and put a set of wheels on here and get some final thoughts about them. It's always nice that regardless of the set of coilovers you buy from them, you always get these. These are the sleeves for the front. Now, the coilovers for the front are always built for the smaller sized forks that are on the 88 and 91 Civics and CRXs, but you put these on for all the EGs, DC2s, EKs. They fit in there. You have the required washers for the rear when you're putting on an EK because the control arm is a little bit thinner, and then you also have the brake line brackets if you need them. The EKs don't have the brake line off of the shock, so I won't be using those. Now, after getting the front suspension put on, one thing that I like to do, always leave the bolts a little bit loose for the bushings. Same with the front. When I was putting the wheels back on, I use a jack. I use my second jack. And I've mentioned this before. Lift the suspension up so it lifts the car up. That way it's putting full load on the control arm. And then you can tighten the lower one. That way you just don't prematurely wear out that bushing. Same goes for these since they have brand new bushings. Let the car sit where it's going to be. Now I can go ahead and tighten those. This side is a little bit harder to get to. You have to remove the battery, remove the air box. They're really easy though. Just a couple of nuts and bolts there and a couple of bolts here just to get everything out of the way, and we can go ahead and put that all back together. So the front's on. It's not difficult to install these coilovers or this camber kit. Someone locally that I know had a similar camber kit. It was a yellow one. I don't know if it was a Maxpeedingrods, but he sent me pictures and it looks similar to this, how it bolted up, and his failed. These little metal pieces there, I guess just with the weight and time, they started to distort, and I think his ball joint was it was having some play moving back and forth. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. Necessarily doesn't look too thick there. He'd also sent me another picture where someone had like a little piece of metal additionally added on to give more support. That's not something I want to do. It should be built where it can be set up. You shouldn't have to add anything naturally. So we're going to test it out maybe after like 500 or like 1,000 miles, which should try to take me like about a month, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to pull the wheels off and just kind of inspect these and see if we have any sort of issue on those. All right, guys, so here's a look at everything finished up. It's pretty low. Usually I don't ride around. It's tucking a little bit of tire here. Now I've driven it about 200 miles just to kind of get everything settled. The back settled even more, tucking a little more tire there. It does not ride very well. It rides great when it's kind of smooth, but when I hit big bumps or speed bumps, the back really unsettles. I don't like it. I'm gonna adjust it, raise it up a little bit. This I think is a little too low for a daily driver anyway. So I'm just gonna adjust the height, see if I can't get it riding a little bit better. And I'm gonna finish off the video after I adjust the height, get that posted. I'll leave an update in the comments, maybe in another 2 or 3 weeks, just so I can put some more miles on it and see how it feels. It looks awesome, like this low, but it doesn't ride awesome, and that's what we're shooting for. We're trying to get a nice ride quality out of it. I have the coilover set on 10 clicks from soft. I went full soft and I went 10 clicks harder, 6 in the back. I think once I raise it, I'm gonna need to stiffen it up a little bit more. The back is just too soft and it seems to like bounce. So we're gonna get that adjusted quickly and give you an update once I finished off the video, and come back to it if you guys are curious. You can always send me a message on Instagram or here and I'll try to respond as quickly as possible. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy this kind of videos. Hopefully we can get a little bit better ride quality out of it and see how these do in the long run. I have been using them on the EG. I've done about, I think it's been about 6 or 7 track events this year, and they feel great on track. Granted, this car's not that low. You can see an easy finger gap there, similar in the back. But they feel good for a track coilover and have this on full stiff. So it's hard to determine. This one I probably have driven more miles on this in the 2 weeks than I have total on the EG on just track miles. I've probably done maybe like 200-ish track miles, maybe 150. But we'll see how they ride after using them on the EK for a while, and I'll keep you guys updated. But thanks for watching. We will catch you guys soon. Take care.